And today I'm just going to talk about my habit tracker, and this is just a little notebook, a square line notebook that I bought from Daiso. It just costs nothing. I think Daiso sells stuff for like $2 wherever you are. And the inside just looks like this. It's a square line notebook. So I started this habit back in August. So this is my first page. You can see like I started it, but I didn't, for the rest of the week I didn't complete it. So the first thing is, if you have trouble maintaining habits, so we have to look at it in a way that you are strengthening the neuropathways, the neurons to make this habit stick and make it habitual, make it second nature. It's just like brushing your teeth. Like you don't even, when it's time before bed or after food, you don't even think twice about it, and very automatically, robotically even, sad to say, that you just go and brush your teeth. So you want this sort of habit to stick. So first thing is, you have to set very small and approachable habits. Let's say if you want, one of your habit you want to stick is to be able to run 10Ks a day, and instead of writing on the notebook 10K a day, you start with bite-sized achievable goals or habits, and start with 2K a day and just tick that off. But realistically, like you might not just do 2K, you might do more than that. You can do 6K. But what we are trying to achieve right here is to grow, let this habit grow. You want to start small and feed it to let it grow so it will stick. Because if you start with the 10K straight away, there are times where you might not run that day, or you don't feel motivated to do so, or you have other stuff that is prioritized over it, and not taking it out on the notebook is gonna do something psychological, and you might take a hit from it. The next time you do it, it would feel like it's doubly hard. Start small first, and if that day you run more than 2K or 4K or 6K, treat that as a bonus. And you want that happy feeling of, oh, I did more than I stipulated in my notebook, and you want that feeling to stick. So this is the goal of starting small. Review your goals week by week, and you can grow from there. So maybe the first week you say 2K for a week, and then anything more is a bonus, and then the next week is 4K, and anything more is a bonus, and work your way up, and until your actual goal, which is 10K. And maybe it will take a month, or maybe it take 2 months, and just let it hit the main goal that way. So we are feeding it from small, building the good neural pathways, and building the good feelings, the dopamine hit from it, and let it grow. So that is what we are trying to do when you say start with small goals. The thing about small and mundane goals is people tend to forego it, as in because it's too small, it's too negligible, that it sometimes even feels silly to even have it as a goal. But no goals are silly. No small goals are silly at all. So if it's important enough to be on your list, it is not negligible. That's why I mean, it's always, any small goals is definitely significant. I have things like flossing my teeth on this, and it's still on it, and it just, the fact that I did it, flossed, and ticked it off my list, it creates a good feeling, and that really helps with me with feeding into other goals that I want to achieve in life as well. So always start small and build up. That's the key. Of course, with any goals, we have to allow it to repeat itself enough for it to stick. Like I said with the analogy, the habit of brushing your teeth. It is so, it's something so small that you don't even think twice about it, but it is so easily achieved at night. Patience is the best thing, and you have to be patient with yourself, and along with patience comes with kindness and consideration, because a lot of people set goals, like little habits that they want to achieve, but they beat themselves up after a few days that they are not achieving it. The guilt and the shame of not being able to achieve is gonna hinder your progress as well. So you want to be kind to yourself when you hit the goal, when you're trying to create that habit. My first page was 3/4 empty. Look, like some stuff I only ticked it once that week, and that's it. Yeah, so it does happen, but it's just when you first start, it's gonna take a lot of trial and error. It's gonna take a lot of time and patience, and yeah, it's some stuff. I started off with some things, and I have to take it out after a week or two, because not that it's too hard, but also it's hindering my process, having to meet up with the expectation to maintain it. But what I want is to be able to just build the habit of, ticking things off and achievable bite-sized goals. Because it does take time, definitely. It's not a flick of a button. You need at least 21 days for the habit to stick, and for it to stick well as well. So it will take some time for you to be able to do that. And that comes to my next point. If there's a habit that does not work after 1 or 2 weeks, or even 3, that's your cue to take it off the list, or change or approach it in a different way. Nothing is set in stone. So that doesn't mean that if you write it on the list that you have to do it. Your whole week is like an experiment for you to find out if that habit is going to work for you or not. You might need to change the timing of it or the intensity of it, depending on what habit you're trying to achieve. There is a lot of systems out there. There's a lot of influencers out there telling you, okay, this is the system that implemented, it worked for them, it worked in this particular way. But at the end of the day, it's you are the one that is living your life, and you are the one who is trying to live this habit. At the end of the day, you're the one who's trying to enjoy this habit. Like you actually have to enjoy what you're doing for it to be able to stick. So there's a certain amount of pleasure that you're deriving from it as well. I think this is one of the more important things that most important thing of trying to make the habit stick, which is trial and error. Like I said, you are free to change your habits anytime you want, but when you do change it, you want to do a review of it. And what doesn't work? Why it doesn't work? Is it too hard? Is it too unachievable? Is there something in your life that is not conducive for the habit to stick? Is there external help or resources that you can tap into to help to make this habit work? Like, for example, I want to be active every day. So, and there are days in the week that, I just don't feel like it. Part of being active is to walk, take my morning walk, 45 minutes at least, non-negotiable. But there are days, like I said, there are days that I don't feel like doing it, and that's where you enlist friends. Like, you meet up with friends, those who love to walk, and so once a week I meet up with a couple friend of mine, and we take a 45 minutes walk, and that helps me so much to make this habit stick. So there are things where you need to review, you need to reconsider, you need to enlist help for, and that is part of the equation of making the habit stick as well, enlisting help. One good thing about having the habit tracker in this form, if you can tell, I draw out these lines, like the square boxes, and I list out one by one what I need. I divide my habits into morning, evening, and then my work, or things that like I do for work, and things that I do to nourish my soul or my mind, and anything that helps with creativity. So I have this in the section this way. And the good thing about having it this way is every week when I write this one page for like this is a week, and this is the next week, and this next. So every Sunday I'll sit down and I'll review it and write it out for the next week, what the habits that that I'm doing, and I can also review it as each week when I go. And that's the beauty of having it in pen and paper, because you can change it as often as you want. It is there for the week, and you are not forced to, but you're obliged to see it through. So like, say for example, you have or just on your phone there's a notes app or something, and you decide to do it on the notes app. But the thing is, with that, you can change that too easily and too quickly, and it doesn't give you and the habit enough time to iron things out. I always love things analog. Like, I love this pen and paper thing. I love my journaling. I love my calligraphy. Everything that is non-digitized, I just enjoy that. So there is actually really something very satisfying about ticking off, using a pen and ticking it off on the list, and that really feeds that good hormones, that good feelings, about completing a task. And I mentioned this earlier on in the video, that this is what feeds and help the habit sticks. It's really convenient to have it in the phone, I must say, because you don't have to carry an extra thing. But my goal is I'm also trying to use less device as possible. So it's just another thing for me to not use the phone. That's what I mean. So it works into my less screen time goals. And also the habit tracker is not just a tracker, but it's also serve as a reminder. One of the thing I have on here is to call friends and family, and I always tend to, like weekly, I tend to forget, like, oh, I have to check on my friend or check on this and check on that, like but having it on the list just reminds me, oh yeah, today is time, or tomorrow I can call my mom, or tomorrow I can call my sister. Like, it also serves as a reminder. So I do like it. Like, I even have one of my habit tracker is to either laugh, dance, or twerk. I'm learning to twerk. So like, it just reminds me that I have to do something fun in life, like, because sometimes I tend to forget. Like, after work I just want to wind down, relax, and like, things get a little bit too monotonous and very mundane. But having a habit that is fun and remind me to have fun is really important for me. So eventually you want all your habits to be well-rounded, so it serves you in your heart, your soul, your connection, your personal growth, and your financial goal or your health goals. So it has to encompass everything about you that makes you a full and healthy person. I was watching this video. I will link it again. If I can't find it, I'll try and look for it. The host, he had an idea of tracking his habits just on piece of paper and pen. I'm quite sure he had a notebook, or maybe it's just pieces of paper, but he did have a notebook, and he did the same, like sort of the same thing. Like, he lists out the things that the habits that he wants to track, and then he just takes notebook. It was just a regular lined notebook, and he just draw little boxes very haphazardly, but it was so organic. I love it. No fuss, and so approachable of the method that he used, and I just adopted it. So after watching that video, I went out and bought a little notebook like this. Even my own journal is square lined. I just love the 5mm space, and like, this kind of square line is just perfect for this purpose, like, because it's so small. It's small enough for you to carry around, and it's quite discreet, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. Like, you can even carry it in your purse if ladies, you have a small purse, and for guys, if you just put it in your pocket or something, it's just almost non-existent. It's just something very discreet and small, and doesn't, like, it's small enough to be not noticeable, but it's easy enough to carry around. That's what I mean, like, because you want to make this as approachable and as accessible as possible when you start this habit. Yes, so look out for something like this, or something small. It doesn't have to be lined, square line. Like I said, it has just normal line. The whole point of it is pen and paper. So you want something that is very primitive or rudimentary, not that doesn't involve the phone, because when it involves the phone, it reduces the significance of the effort that you have to tick the box out. And mind you, this is, like, trust me, this is what makes this whole thing works. The process of writing out on a piece of paper and ticking it out is what makes it work. It's not just following it. It's not the repetition. It's not just listing everything out in the book. It's not just that, but it's a combination of it. But that ticking out on the piece of paper is what makes it work and what makes it stick. Yeah, so that's it for my habit track. I hope this helped anyone who is trying to maintain or start a new habit, because it works really well for me, I must say, because if I haven't done this habit tracking, I would be a little bit lost, as in, because I was going through a lot of things in my life, and I was letting my emotions run amok, and having the habit tracker just give me a structure and something that I can follow, as well as serve as a reminder for me that this is what I need to do for myself. And I will classify this as a form of self-care, because until you prioritize yourself and your habits, it is really hard to give. Like if you're a mother or you are in a profession that gives, like a teacher or something, like you really need to feed yourself first. Maintain a good equilibrium in your mental well-being before you start giving. Otherwise, it is really easy to burn out. Yeah, so if this really helps you in any way, please drop me a comment. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Don't forget to thumbs up for my video if you do like it. And thank you. See you guys in the next one.